This is part 4 of the Formbird fleet application demonstration. In this part, Mark Hosking is looking at the different ways work orders can be generated.
I'll start creating work orders. For this repair request, these are valid work orders, so not all work orders are valid against all requests. And as I was saying, I'll break them down. So if it's an accident, I might start collecting the accident details and start working on the insurance and the approvals and all the rest of it. I might have diagnosis, which is not necessarily, I've actually found the problem and fixing it, or I might go ahead and repair it. So once I hit a repair, I can assign it or leave it unassigned. If it's unassigned, it just stays with the workshop and I'll create that repair. So this is kind of now at the mechanics level, and people operate slightly differently. They let the mechanic create them because they know what's going on, or you might have a workshop supervisor. It just depends on your workflow a little bit on who's creating. And sometimes it's a combination. I might assign a work order to a mechanic and then they create others because they've had to go and do extra work. And you might also end up with multiple repairs. You don't have to have just one repair against an individual request. So the idea there is that if it's significant enough work, I might, and even against a service, I might create a repair. It might have come in for a service. I'm doing my regular service. I do my checks and everything else. And then I find a problem. I'll actually create a repair, which will be then an unscheduled bit of work, and it'll be repairing the transmission or whatever else. Here, I haven't at this point in time classified it. So I'll classify it, and that'll start to drive things like what I can select in terms of the repair outcomes. I've selected that. It's told me that neither the engine nor the vehicle is under warranty. So there's no warranty available. They would turn green if they were under warranty. I've got the description from the repair work order. It's an unscheduled, it's come in broken, so it's unscheduled. So that goes to my stats of scheduled versus unscheduled. I can assign it at any point in time. I can go and assign it to a particular mechanic and it'll appear in their desktop and so if I assign it to myself, I'll assign it to that mechanic and it'll appear. You have the ability to keep timesheets. Some customers are using it for their actual internal timesheetings. Others is just a relative costing. So you can put a base rates against the users, so against the mechanics, and then record base costs, and that'll go to the cumulative costs or expenses of maintaining that asset. If I have multiple people come to that work order and multiple people turn on, they create individual work orders. So if John and Bob are working on it, or Leanne and Bill, they'll both create a time recorder and be recorded against that work order, which then goes and rolls up against that vehicle. Once I've done the work and I work my way through, so I can now start working my way through. I'll go things like in progress. I can put on hold. If I put on hold, I'll give a reason why it's on hold, and I'll keep a history of why it was on hold. Okay, so I might have it on hold. When was it? And I'll keep a complete history. Oh, reason for on hold. Reason on hold. It's telling me there. Waiting bay. That'll keep telling me what's going on. So once I've put in progress, I take it off on hold, and then I'll continue working on. Once I come to completing it, it's going to give me a breakdown list of diagnosis that's only going to be based on the engine because it's only an engine fault. So to fix it, I just simply added fluid. I had improper fluid levels. And what was the cause? Unfair wear and tear. The users weren't filling up the oil. We also have the concept of questionnaires, and you can create your own questionnaires. So if you've got specific questionnaires that go against particular items, you can have them as additional sort of data collection. So you might have, if you regularly do oil sampling, for instance, you might want to take specific oil sampling results. The general monitoring one is an interesting one. It's a good one. So if you're using particularly the daily driver check sheet, if you create a general monitoring one, so this is where you use it for, I found an oil leak, but I'm not going to fix it now because I don't have enough detail. I've got to get the asset out anyway. We'll just monitor it. So really, this is kind of like a work order that's not a work order. This is sort of like, I need it monitored. So that will then appear on basically the day drive check sheets if you select that asset. It also appear on the workshop supervisors' dashboards and things like that. So they kind of know, look, vehicle XYZ's got this slow leak. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it for the moment, but I'll keep an eye on it. So that's quite a, and then you can create your own as well. So if you've got specific questionnaires. You can also then show materials. So if I'm actually now consuming materials, I'll now decide on any materials. I can search for the materials. I can then basically, select a filter. So I've used that I can look at that oil filter. So against a material item, I've got the different types of items, whether it's pure consumable, whether it's a service item that's being used in a service, suppliers, minimum orders, reorder levels. Is it active? Any images? You might have some MDSs or other, details on the asset, etc. on the item. You can really then record, complete history of that, against that repair in terms of materials, what was done, what was the result, photos of it, etc. We can now enter the scheduled world, which is your planned maintenance and your service schedules. They will be generally created automatically. That's what you kind of hope. But you also have circumstances where you just are going to create them manually. It's come out of time. You're just going to go and do that one or what have you. So normally it'll be running. So we run a process every night against, the environment. It's looking at has a meterage been met, has a time been met, whatever. Here's all the service requests that need to be created. But alternatively, someone comes in and they go, right, I need to create a service. I'll do the 62,000 case service. You might have special decisions or whatever else. Please check all oils carefully. You might take some extra photos. So, because I'm in there, I've got to say when I'm going to start it. Again, I'll start it Monday. It's going to be a busy day. Hope to get it done by Tuesday. I can again sign it. So very similar construct. It'll default to the workshop. But the difference now is I head into a service request. So again, I get the repair history. So what's been going on with it. What I do now is I do a PM work order. So it's slightly different to and as I said, you can do under a service request, you might have other different work orders. It may turn out that you actually end up, doing a regular service, but you find an issue, you actually go off and do an accident report, or you do a repair. If you're doing a repair, I'll do the service first, but you can add repair work orders.
Thank you for watching. To view the next part of the Formbird fleet demonstration, click on the video. If you missed the first part, there's a link in the description. And please contact us via our website if you would like a personal demonstration.